Good morning, classmates. It's so good to see you today. I'm excited to hear a little bit about how your reading has been going while we haven't been in school. So one thing we're going to talk about today is we want to know, who are you as a reader? Everybody has a reading identity, something that tells a little bit about the kind of reader they are. So today, we're going to do just that. I hope you have all of your learning box materials handy. Today, I've got one of my favorite pens. I just love the way that this one writes, so I've got my pen ready. And I've also got some paper that I'm going to be writing on as we talk today. So get ready. I'll give you a few seconds. Oh, yep. There we go. I can see some of you. You're putting your writing tools on your table. I can see you getting your paper out. Excellent job. Okay, let's get started today. Are you ready? So I'm going to show you a little bit on your screen, and you're going to see me down in the corner, and I'm just going to be in this little circle, just like I am now. So the first thing I want you to do to think about how you are as a reader is that I want you to tell me what kind of books you're reading right now. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the books I'm reading right now. Are you ready? There's a few of them that I want you to know about me as a reader. One of them is this book. It's called Marley and Me, and it was one of my favorite reads, and I even read it again and again sometimes because I love it so much. I love dogs and puppies, so any books about dogs or puppies, I'm probably going to read. Okay. Another book that I've show you that I'm reading right now, this one's called Sharp Objects, and it's kind of a mystery book. There's something happening in this small town, and they're trying to figure out who's doing the stuff in the town. So it's been quite interesting to read. And then the last kind of reading or reader that I am is I'm a learner. So right now I'm reading this book called A Fresh Look at Phonics to help you or help me teach you how to be better readers. So these are some things about me as a reader. What I want you to do next is I'm going to pause for a minute, and I want you to get out your paper and get your writing utensil, and I want you to put a number 1 up here on the top of the page, a number 1. And in that number 1, we're just going to either write down some of the books that you love to read, or I want you to go get a book for me, and then you're going to show it to me on the camera just like I showed it to you. All right, so you can write down a title, or you can draw a picture of what you remember of that book, or you can go get the book that you have right now that tells a little bit about the kind of reader you are, okay? All right, I'm going to give you about a minute. Go find your books or write in your paper. All right, friends, I hope you're back. I'd love to see some of those books, or tell me a little bit about what you wrote in your journal. At this time, students would be showing me their books. They would show the page that they wrote or draw their picture on, and that would be sufficient. So let's move on. All right, so the next thing I want you to do on your paper is we're going to be thinking about, where do you like to read? It's important that when you're reading, you're comfortable. You're in a space that you enjoy. So one of the places that Mrs. Gentry likes to read is usually her couch. And I love my couch. It's just comfy. I've got some pillows and some blankets. I just have to be careful sometimes I don't fall asleep. Another place that I love to read, I love to be outside, especially on sunny days, sitting on my patio with some lemonade and maybe a little bit of music. And I love reading a good book outside. Another place I love to read is when it gets to be the evening and I'm kind of winding down. I like to read in bed, kind of like the couch. It's snuggly. I have blankets and soft pillows, and sometimes my dog joins me too. All right, I want you to tell me a little about where you like to read. Who are you as a reader and where you like to read? So I'm going to pause again, and I want you to jot a picture or some words that tell me a little bit about where you like to read. All right, friends, at this time, I would be asking students to show me their papers or to tell me some of the places that they like to read best. Next, we're going to go on to, we know what kind of books you like to read, and we know where you like to read, but when do you like to read? Like I said when I was telling you about my couch or in my bed, sometimes I read a little too late or when I'm a little too sleepy and I end up falling asleep. So the best times for me to read is anytime after about noon to about bedtime. If I don't like to read early in the morning, my brain just isn't really awake yet, and I can't wait until too late at night because I get sleepy. So think about the times when you like to read, and I want you to jot that down using your rating paper and that favorite writing tool you have. Go ahead. And at this time, again, I would let students share with me a little bit about where they like to read or when they like to read best as a reader. Let's go on. All right, friends, the last thing we want to talk about today, and I want to get to know about you, is I want to know, who do you talk to about your reading? Talking to people about reading? Yeah, that's part of being a good reader. So I'll share with you two different groups of people that I usually talk to about my reading. Is usually my friends. They're my first ones. So if I'm reading Marley and Me or Sharp Objects, something like that, we all try to read them at the same time so we can talk about them. Or sometimes my girlfriends, they will pass on a book to me that they really liked, and after I get done reading it, we talk about it. The other group of people that sometimes I talk to about my reading, especially when I'm learning something, would be the people I work with. So that fresh look at phonics books, I would definitely talk to some of my colleagues about that book so we can learn from each other and then teach you a little bit better too. So I want you to take a few seconds, think, who do you talk to about your books? And if you haven't really talked to anyone about books, I want you to think about who you could talk to about the books you're reading, okay? Get ready. Think. Write some things down or draw a picture of the people that you would talk to about your reading. After a few moments, students would come back and we would share a little bit about the people that they like to read to as well. And this really helps our students to gain a better understanding of who they are as a reader, and we can also get a better understanding of who they are as a reader, and then we can teach into some of those moments, especially when we find out what kinds of books that they like to read. So, hope this was helpful.